In this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate the cost of ingredients for your culinary business using a pricing spreadsheet, which is the one you're seeing on your screen. This spreadsheet not only gives you the selling price you need for your products, whether they're culinary items or resale products, but it also shows you the cost of the ingredients, which I imagine is what you're looking for. This spreadsheet is available for purchase at the link in the description of the video. To get the cost of ingredients using the spreadsheet, you can do it in a very simple way. You just need to register the materials. So there's a tab here where you'll enter each ingredient in a specific row, how much you paid for it, and the quantity that came with the purchase you made. So, for example, let's take milk. I paid $3 for 1,000 milliliters of milk. So that's why you have 1,000 here, which is the reference quantity that came with it, for $3. Salt is the same thing. We pay $1 for salt per 1,000 grams. So, you will enter for all your ingredients within this materials registration table how much you paid for each of them and how much it came with. Once you've defined that, you can go to the pricing tab with unknown costs in the spreadsheet and find the total cost of the ingredients, which is an intermediate step in the pricing process. You can see that here in column D, I have a column called Item Name. And all the items you had registered in materials will be available here. Note, we have the flour, eggs, sugar, milk, everything you registered. You can select here in this tab. So when you're making a recipe, making a cake, making something similar, you'll have a list of ingredients, the name of the ingredient, and how much you have to put in. That's exactly what you're going to fill in here. So you'll enter the item name and the quantity. For example, salt, 5. 5. What? Since we registered in grams, we're going to have 5 grams. So that's why you'll enter the information in grams. You'll do this for all the products listed here. All the ingredients in your recipe should have the item name along with the quantity. With that, the spreadsheet can already calculate the total cost of ingredients for you. In this case here, you can see the information in two places. First, you can see down here, there's a total of 6.61. In this case, $6.61 is the total you have for this recipe. It's a place you can see. And the other place you can see it is in this line here. Cost of the product. Total for the batch, 6.61. It's not individual. I'll explain what it is. And yes, the total is 6.61. So, in this case, your total cost for the ingredients is $6.61. But, when we're calculating the cost of the ingredients, we're usually going through a pricing process. So even though the spreadsheet does give you the total cost of the ingredients, it already does the pricing process for you. At this point, I'm going to keep showing you how you can enter other information and get your selling price. So we've already seen that the total for all the ingredients here is 6.61 Brazilian reals. And we arrived at a selling price using some other concepts from the spreadsheet. You actually need to enter 2 more things. 3 things to be more precise. First, the desired margin, which is the profit margin you want to have. For example, if you sell for $100 and you priced it with a 35% profit margin, you already know that you have $35 in profit after paying everything you need to pay, including the cost of your ingredients. Besides the profit margin, you need to enter fixed costs and variable costs. Why? When you're making a cake, for example, you went there, made a cake, and in this case, the cost of that recipe you're making is $6.61. You can't just take those $6.61, add a little profit on top, and think everything's fine. That's not how it works. You need to go over the fixed costs of your business. as well as the variable costs. What are fixed costs? These are the costs that will exist and will have the same value, regardless of how many products you sell. I'm talking about rent, I'm talking about internet, salaries, maintenance. All of this is a fixed cost. That doesn't depend on your sales volume. You're going to enter them here in this fixed cost tab. In addition, you need to enter what your monthly revenue is, how much you sell in dollars throughout the month. This will be entered in the monthly revenue cell, and then you'll have a percentage. That should be factored into your selling price. In addition, we have variable costs. What are variable costs? These are the costs that the dollar amount will increase as you sell more because they are a percentage of the sale value. I'm talking about taxes. I'm talking about credit card fees, transaction fees. Everything takes a percentage of the sale value, and you need to enter that here too. When you input all of this and add your profit margin, the spreadsheet will automatically convert the cost of the ingredients into a selling price. All of this takes a percentage of the sale value, and you need to enter that here too. When you input all of this and add your profit margin, the spreadsheet will automatically convert the cost of the ingredients into a selling price. So you'll already know exactly how much you need to sell that product you're making. In this example, a cake. So you'll automatically know how much you need to sell that product you're making. In this example, a cake. But before you get to the actual selling price, you need to enter one piece of information. How many units does this batch produce? Because sometimes you are making a recipe that will form several products. So you're making a really big recipe that will yield not just one cake, but 3 cakes. So you go to the spreadsheet, enter that this recipe over here, this batch over here, produces 3 units, and the spreadsheet will divide that cost by 3, arriving at the cost of each product. In this case, it's not 6.60 Brazilian reals, but rather 2.20 Brazilian reals, because there are 3 products. It will automatically calculate the selling price, taking into account the margin you want, as well as fixed and variable costs, ensuring that you have a safe and accurate selling price for your business. So, in this case, we turned a cake that cost you 2.20 Brazilian reals in ingredients into 11.76 Brazilian reals. Why? We have a pretty high portion of fixed costs here. That should be factored into your selling price. So check it out. You sell one of those 3 cakes for 11.76 Brazilian reals. In total, the variable costs are 1.29 Brazilian reals. They will follow the percentages you had set earlier. Fixed costs are 4.15 Brazilian reals. Why? It's 35% of the sale value, as you mentioned earlier. Product costs 2.20 Brazilian reals, total 7.64 Brazilian reals. Selling at 11.76 Brazilian reals gives 4.12 Brazilian reals profit, 35% margin. Selling 3 cakes results in a batch next to you. Total revenue 35.28 Brazilian reals, profit 12.35 Brazilian reals. When you sell all 3 cakes, you'll get the lot next door. You'll have 35.28 Brazilian reals in revenue, 12.35 Brazilian reals in profit when you finish selling all 3 cakes. So, as I said, this spreadsheet allows you to very easily calculate not only the cost of your ingredients, which is below, and which you can sell in several other places, but also the sales price. So if you're interested in calculating the cost of ingredients to get the selling price, this spreadsheet does it for you. And once again, it is done in an extremely simple and easy way, so that you don't need to worry about pricing and instead focus on your business, doing a lot of volume, and having a safe and correct pricing that this spreadsheet will allow you to do. So, I reiterate, if you are interested, this spreadsheet, which not only calculates the cost of ingredients, but also calculates the selling price of a product, is available for purchase at the link in the video description. Don't miss the chance to get a really robust and reliable spreadsheet that helps you determine the selling price for your business. We'll see each other around, and take care.